Good morning, guys. Welcome to our webinar here.
Yes, welcome. I'm Mike, and this is James, and we're two of the design team members here at Sea Pointe.
So today we're going to kind of walk you through, this is our bathroom edition. We're going to walk you through bathroom remodel, things that you might want to know if you're considering doing your own bathroom remodel, and kind of just get you acclimated to the various processes and decisions that you'll be making through your own process.
Sounds great. Well, why don't we jump in and share our information with everybody?
Yeah, okay.
Why listen to us? Well, besides James and I being two great-looking designers, having about 40 years combined experience, as a design build firm, we've been doing this since 1986 in Orange County, and really we only do residential. We've seen it all, we've done it all. We get a lot of inspiration from our clients and in remodeling bathrooms, kitchens, whole homes. And one of the things we're really proud of is our repeat referral rate. James and I and our team members have a high amount of client returns because of the work we do, the relationships we build, and the quality we put forth.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better, Mike. So let's talk about what we're going to go through today. So we got a few topics for you: how to plan your project, working with the design build. So you have some choices in the way that you might approach your project. You could work with a contractor, you could go design build. We want you to understand the differences. We'll give you some key considerations, things that you really want to think about as far as, you know, things that are going to keep you safe and things that are going to protect you as you're doing your remodel. And then we're going to look at some really fun bathroom reveals and some bathroom inspiration as well.
Which is everyone's favorite part, before and after.
Mine too, yeah. Mike, mine too.
All right, planning your project. So how do you get started in the whole remodeling project? First step is really setting realistic expectations.
Right.
James and I and our team members will watch the TV shows that you're all watching, and we'll sit back and we'll chuckle because you can't do a bathroom in an hour in a glass or two of wine. It's just not realistic.
I wish it worked like that. That sounds pretty fun, but honestly, even though it does take more time than that, because we want to do detailed planning, it can still be a lot of fun. It's really just about setting real expectations for yourself and knowing what you're in for as you go into a project like that.
Exactly. And, you know, we see Chip and JoJo saying, oh, we can take out the wall and he'll run through it or kick it down. But construction in Orange County is not that simple. And we'll figure out early on what can and can't be done, and we'll share that with you.
Yeah. Okay. So you got this one?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Project expectations. We run into a lot of scenarios over the years. We have a lot of homeowners that were DIYers, where they want to go to Home Depot every weekend and they're on a first name basis with the cashier. That's one way to tackle a project like this. Or you can go the traditional route and hire a general contractor, or you can go the route that Sea Pointe brings to play, which is design build, which is a turnkey solution. And let's dig deeper into what those options look like.
Yeah, and this is a really good section for you guys to pay close attention to, because you know, if you work with a contractor, a lot of people do it that way. There's a lot of things that you might not be aware of going into that. And we want to really kind of help you understand what the whole process looks like, and maybe some advantages or sometimes benefits to working with design build firm.
All right. So typically when you work with a contractor, we're showing you Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner in the center of the world of remodeling. Depending on the complexity of your project, you may need to hire an architect. You may want to hire an interior designer. You might need a structural engineer if you're taking out walls.
Right.
And then, of course, there's always the ongoing fun of materials purchasing, which, you know, as a homeowner means you could be spending every weekend up in Tile Row in Anaheim hunting for that perfect tile or perfect countertop. And then the other part of it is you still need to interview and hire a general contractor. And the one question everybody asks as you get to that phase is, how much is it going to cost?
Yeah.
And really, your general contractor can't give you an accurate cost until you have final designs, meaning architectural, engineering, materials purchases, because the general contractor is just kind of go off of your guidance and build it. He's not going to take the initiative on these things, and he's really not connected to the architect or the engineer. So there's a big disconnect in pricing these projects.
Yeah. So just to elaborate on what Mike's saying to you guys, you know, when you work with a general contractor, and this is not design build, this is just a general contractor, he's concerned about building the house. That's what, or building the project, whatever it might be. That's what the general contractor is concerned with. He is not the architect. He's not the interior design specialist. He's not the person that's going to help you find and choose the materials and decide where they're coming from. So when you do it this way, you have an important role, a responsibility to coordinate all these things and to relay information back and forth. And this is what a lot of people don't understand going into this. They think, I got a general contractor, I'm all set. And next thing you know, you're in the middle of everything and not sure, how to do some things. And so it can be confusing. And that's one of the things you kind of have to know about.
And to jump in a bit further, when you take on work with a general contractor, expect to invest a lot of your time to help the project get designed, coordinated, and built. You are going to have to babysit the general contractor. You are going to have to set realistic expectations for how much time you're going to miss from work and family. And most people really overlook this key part. If you have family vacations, cancel them.
Yeah,
you're going to need to be around to watch what's going on.
And another thing that I'm thinking of that sometimes happens to people, and I've seen it a lot, where we get someone who walks into our showroom, asks for help, and they've already been sort of down this path trying to work with a general contractor. And it might have been a situation, something like they met with them, they started spending money to make plans, they get through all this architectural stuff through some other architect and back and forth with the engineer and the contractor. And they finally get to a point where they spend all this money to make plans and they find out it costs too much to build it, right? So there's no budget guidance through the whole thing because the contractor can't really do anything until he has the plans, and those plans can't be made till the homeowner spends the money to make them. And so it's really can be a crazy process. And so this is kind of some of the things that you're going to need to think about if you're choosing to sort of approach your project in that manner. Yeah, sounds good.
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. We want to open your eyes up to realistic expectations, no matter what path you go down.
Yeah. So the good news is there's an easier way, right? It's not all doom and, So let's talk about design build. I'll let you run with this one too, Mike. You're on the roll.
So basically, the beauty of design build is we are companies exactly like Sea Pointe take the ball and run with it. There's two people on speed dial, your designer and your project manager. We coordinate everything turnkey. Yeah. We are the general contractor. We are the designers. We are the architects. We have the structural engineering. It's a one source, one point of contact. We turnkey the whole thing. We get the permits. We run the job. Yeah. And we enable you as the homeowner to be as involved or uninvolved as you choose to be. You don't need to babysit us, quite the opposite. We're going to give you a schedule of what the project's going to run and look like. Yeah. And then we send you weekly emails with a recap of what we completed the week before and what's happening next week. And we're going to give you homework assignments as things come up that need your involvement. Beauty of design build is truly one-stop shopping. We handle the whole thing from concept to completion.
Yeah. So just a couple points I'm going to touch on. You kind of already started us down a good road with that. So not only are we going to make it easy for you being design build, but we're also going to coordinate all those things that we talked about in the previous model with working with a general contractor. Remember how everything was separated? Here we're putting it all together. We're managing it. We're coordinating it. And by doing this, we're going to eliminate a lot of potential problems that could happen and time delays and, all these horror stories that you hear with remodeling. This is how we eliminate by being well organized and having one group, our design build team here, coordinate and manage everything for you. So not only does it make it easier for you, makes everything go quicker and you have a lot less problems down the road. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Let's roll. So some key considerations here for you guys. I'll jump in on this one. So, as ridiculous as it sounds, you're going to want to make sure that whoever you work with, if it's a contractor, a design build firm, whoever it is, you want to make sure they have these things. You want to make sure they have liability insurance, property damage insurance, they're bonded, workers' compensation, even auto insurance, right? So you'd be really surprised to see how much of our industry is either underinsured or maybe don't have any insurance at all. Maybe they don't even have a license, right? So how do you check this? It's really easy, 5 minutes of your time. We put the website up on the screen there. It's www.cslb.ca.gov. That is the Contractor State License Board website. Go in there, put your contractor's license in there, his number, and make sure he's got these insurance. It'll tell you right away. And look for red flags. If you put in the number and a different company name comes up,
big red flag.
Red flag. Why doesn't he have a license? Why is he using someone else's? These are the kind of questions you're going to start to ask yourself if you see something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, you can see if there's any grievances filed with the state about the contractor. And then one other key thing, we hear this all the time. Somebody will put a license on their business card that isn't theirs, and they'll tell you, "Oh, it's my brother-in-law's." That's not good enough. It's my father's license.
Right.
Not good enough. You want to do business with the people that are truly licensed and overseen by the state to do the work and do the quality that you deserve.
Yeah. And this is just one of the ways that you're going to protect yourself, is just by doing a little bit of homework, and it's well worth the time invested. Also, the importance of what license do they have, right? There's 43 different classifications of licensing here in California. And so basically you want to make sure that whoever's doing the work has the correct license for the job, right? So if they're changing a water heater, let's say they're putting in a tankless new location, well, that's going to involve a plumber, obviously, to do the plumbing work, but it also involves creating a penetration in your roof. So that's not the plumber that does that. He's not licensed for that. He's not insured for that. So you want to make sure the roofer does that portion of the project, right? Maybe you're thinking, oh, the plumber's going to take care of the whole thing. But let's say you did have the plumber do the whole thing and everything's working great. And then maybe 6 months down the road, we get some heavy rains and you find out your roof's leaking. Now you're in trouble. You're like, well, do I call the plumber back to fix my roof? Does he even have insurance for that? You can see how this could get real complicated. So make sure whoever's doing the work's got the right license for the project. Yep.
References. So this is really important, whether you're dealing with a small company, and there's some good construction guys out there. They're what we call truck with a truck. There's a lot of companies where it's maybe one or two guys in a pickup truck and a cute Labrador retriever, and they can do great work. But at the end of the day, can they back it up with quality references? You should be able to get at least 3 references or more from anyone you're interviewing. And it also helps to see what people are saying online. We as a company, we've got a lot of online reviews. We're a nationally and state ranked company with 37 years of experience. And we've got a lot of raving reviews online. Our clients love us and the work we do. And at the end of the day, we can bring you to job sites and see how clean and organized and safe they are. And unfortunately, there's a lot of companies out there that really don't care or respect your home when they're working. They're going to leave lunch wrappers, cigarette butts, or other garbage and debris around your home, or nails, and just that's not acceptable. When we're in your home, we're a guest of yours, and we want to make sure we're respectable or respective of your home environment. And that's things to consider when you reach out for references.
So, I mean, bottom line here, guys, basically, if the job turns out good or it turns out bad, if you're thinking about doing a project, that's kind of in your hands right now. Who you choose, that's the difference. So again, check the website for the Contractor State License Board. Get some references, right? There's all kinds. We got a bunch of them up here on the screen, and there's even a whole bunch more. If they're being recognized for doing some good work, they're probably doing a good job. If they're a smaller company, ask to talk to some of their clients. Go see a project. Get some idea that they're doing a good job for you.
Well, yeah, you want to have comfort. You're partnering with a company that's respectful of your home and your project, and it's going to deliver quality and not broken promises. All right, I'll take this doom and gloom one. So
thank you.
Within the industry, nationwide, different businesses are trended for rates of survival. Unfortunately, the service industry, which is construction, is at the bottom of this chart. So you may look at this and say, wow, 63% of construction companies are gone within 5 years. Okay, how does that affect me? Well, it comes down to service, follow-up, and warranty. We've been around 37 years. We've seen it all. We've ridden out all the ups and downs of the economy. But at the end of the day, what it really translates into is warranty. Are we or the company you're going to hire instead of Sea Pointe going to be around to service any issues that come up in the future? I think the next slide will illustrate best that by law in California, you should get a 1-year written warranty minimum in your contract, whereas we go as far as to offer a 5-year warranty. Permits and HOA. Excuse me, sorry. So basically, one of the top questions we get, and we're going to open this up to Q&A at the end of this, but you're welcome to put in the chat box any questions you have. Basically, permits is one of the biggest questions we get, and we do everything correctly per the state of California. So we get permits on every job we do. As far as the other things involved, we have to do asbestos and lead testing. We have to work with your HOA if it's an exterior related project.
Mhm.
We're used to that. We do it day in and day out. We have full-time staff members to help us with this. We don't take shortcuts. And if you as a homeowner don't want to hire somebody, it's going to take a shortcut.
Yep.
If you interview a general contractor and say, oh, you're remodeling a bathroom, you don't need a permit. James and I both know that's
Yeah.
wrong. It's illegal. It's against the licensing they've gotten from the state.
Yeah. And so that's, again, if you hear those kind of things, that's like a red flag. Why don't they want a permit? That's there to protect you. It's everything's going to be done in a legit fashion with a permit. So why are they trying to, take that away from you? It doesn't make sense.
Exactly. They're shortcutting the process.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Design build. So how does the process work and what is it we do at Sea Pointe?
Yeah. And this is probably a good time to mention, I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking about doing a project. You're looking for a good company to work with. If you are interested in having us come out, definitely reach out. You can just send a message in the chat box there and we can go ahead and reach out to you and get something set up for you.
Yeah, typically we'll come out, we'll spend about an hour with you. We want to learn what you're hoping to do, maybe your wish list. We want to see the environment we're talking about, get a better understanding of how realistic your ideas are, and how we can translate them into a workable project.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you. So let's talk about design process and some of the factors with that, right? So this is how we're going to work together, right? So when you go design build, right, first thing we want to do is want to compile some budget ranges for you, because that's probably your first question, right? How much is this going to cost? And of course, we don't know the exact number because we haven't designed anything at that point. We're early in the game, but we want to make sure we're kind of on the same page with budget, because if we're not, then at least we can start a conversation about how do we steer it to one direction or the other, right? So these are good conversations to have right in the beginning. So we're going to compile some budget ranges for you. There's going to be some design fees, right? There's a lot of design work that has to happen, cabinet plans, tile layouts,
electrical plans,
material selections, right? So there's some design fees to cover all that. We want to put those numbers in front of you. And of course, if there's architectural that's happening, architectural changes or structural where there's engineering, then there's those also apply to the work that would be done under those fees, right? So let's do this. Let's dig right into the process, right?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So the how much. This is a good overview of where your remodeling budget's going to go. Remodeling is very labor intensive. We're retrofitting an existing home. There's a lot of things we have to do as part of creating the new space. So this is a great indication of, materials as a percentage of the project, design and overhead and project management, labor and installation. Bathrooms are not going to happen in 48 hours once we start demolition. It's time intensive and we have to go through certain defined steps and inspections to get from start to finish.
Yeah, and you'll notice here in a bathroom, right, it's so different than a kitchen. A lot of the costs are related to labor, right? You get into kitchen remodel, you'd see things like more larger section pie cut for cabinets and things like that. So almost half is labor and installation in a bathroom. So let's talk about cabinets, also how that's going to play a role in your budget, because you have different choices in cabinets, right? There's a lot of door styles, fun colors, fun designs that you can choose from. And of course, we have all this sort of thing here at Sea Pointe, large showroom for you to look at all the colors and design styles. But when it comes to selecting the cabinets, you've got some choices, right? And you can see what we put up here for you on the screen. You've got stock cabinets, right? That's one level. You've got semi-custom, that's another level. And then you've got full custom cabinets. So you can already see the price differences, right? Stock cabinet is going to be your lowest price. Semi-custom is going to come in the middle, and that's where most people are typically operating at. And then you can go full custom, where sort of sky's the limit kind of thing.
So when we get to semi-custom, the advantage there is we can really design almost anything. We can no longer be limited to sizes or styles or choices. We can do custom cabinets. If you said, we have a custom color we love from Dunn Edwards, can you match it? The answer is absolutely yes. And the other beautiful thing about the cabinet lines we work with, because they're done with a catalyzed conversion varnish, there's a lifetime finish warranty. These are things you cannot get in off-the-shelf store cabinets at the big box retailers. It's unique to what we bring to the table as a design build firm.
Yeah, and that what you just said, Mike, the catalyzed conversion varnish, that's a big deal, because that's in my opinion, that's the absolute best finish that you can get on a cabinet. And it's really difficult to do here in California, which is why we have our cabinets built in a factory just out of state here. However, if you're talking to a local builder, know that you're not going to get catalyzed conversion varnish on your cabinets, because it's very, very difficult to do here in California due to, different air quality management laws and things that we have.
Yeah, typically what we see is clients come in a year or two after they've had somebody else build and finish their cabinets, complaining or crying, depending on the case, about their cabinet finishes have failed. That's because it's either water-based or alcohol-based. It's sprayed in your home, which means you're getting those nasty fumes in the home, and there's no way to make it a durable surface.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and again, when we're talking semi-custom cabinets, this is where you're going to find your best value and quality. This is sort of that sweet spot for you. So I kind of already touched on this. So manufactured custom cabinetry, or in our case, sometimes we do manufactured semi-custom cabinetry, but this is where you're going to catalyze conversion varnish. So again, being custom, it's unlimited in the styles, unlimited in the modifications, and it's typically the highest quality. And you're getting special features like special routed edges on the top of the drawer boxes, or if you want to do custom wood species in the drawer boxes, different things like this we can do, right? And it's lifetime warranty as well. So let's talk about some tile options,
Sure.
right?
I mean, tile can be overwhelming. Lots of options in natural stone. When you get a chance to visit our showroom, we're going to share with you some of the thousands of options available in our stone selection. And we'll guide you through the process as designers. We're going to share with you beautiful things, but we're also going to listen to you about durability and how you want to maintain your space.
Yep.
If you don't want maintenance, we'll find beautiful looking materials that are maintenance free.
Yeah, exactly. So talking natural stones and marbles, this is not a maintenance free product, right? This is a high maintenance product.
Yes, no red wine in the room.
But it's beautiful, absolutely. And we have lots of mosaics and different types of tiles to create beautiful, pieces like we have done here in the example that we have up there for you.
And then porcelain's another great product. The beauty of porcelain is it can be manufactured to look like any real finished product, natural or man-made, and it's super durable.
Yeah.
I'd say probably 80% of the projects we do have porcelain involved because of the look, the durability, and it being a cost-effective product.
Yeah, and I'm seeing porcelain all over the spot. I see it on the walls. I see it in the shower pan. I see it on the floor tiles. So quite a bit of porcelain in that particular design. Glass tiles also very popular, cool look. That's nice for bringing in some blues, and especially if you're getting like a beach vibe going or something like that, you can get some real cool color tones with the glass tiles as well.
And then countertops, a lot of options in countertops. Engineered quartz has become the most popular. It can be made to replicate almost any natural stone that's quarried from the earth, but none of the downsides. Relatively maintenance-free, hard, durable, easy to fabricate.
Yeah.
And it allows us as designers to create hundreds of different looks in the project.
Yeah, beautiful material. We use it all the time. Go ahead.
Natural stone and marble. Once again, there's something about natural stone, that warmth, that beauty, but you just need to have your eyes open to the fact that you are going to have to take a little more care with it. Cleaning and sealing should be done every year.
Yeah.
You want to be careful with spills, but if your heart's set on a beautiful natural stone material, we have a lot of options for it.
And the marbles too, just something to be aware of. If you do a marble, it's got the white tones in it. Some of them do water stain, a lot of them water stain. Some of them also change colors as the minerals within the marble react with the water. So these are some of the types of things you'll expect if you go with a marble type stone.
All right. We want to have a bathroom project we do want to share with you. It's called the Williams Project. And basically, we went through the design build process with them. We met with the family. We created a design agreement with some budget scopes. We worked through the design process. We got into color renderings and creating virtual bathroom views. And then ultimately, we are able to go to a construction agreement at the end of the design process where we can give you a to the penny cost to actually go to construction.
Yeah. And I think that's just super important because, again, just in contrasting with what you might see when you work with a general contractor, you're going to start out with a contract with the general, when you work with a general contractor, before you've even made any decisions about colors and materials and layouts and stuff. And as you can imagine, those contracts are going to be vague, full of allowances and things like this. We're going through a design process first and then creating your construction agreement. You can imagine it's a very detailed, everything is set up for exactly the bathroom that you want and that you planned, and which means that your pricing is going to be very accurate. So you're not going to have a bunch of budget changes and things like you would doing that other process.
Yeah, and that's a great point. The word allowance and change order should be a 4-letter word in the construction vocabulary because it just means whoever you went with, especially a general contractor, rush to get you into a contract at an artificially low price. And then they already know that they're going to have budget creep of 30, 40, 50% over your contract costs. And those numbers are numbers we hear from clients all year long that they share with us.
Yeah. So let's talk about kind of moving through their story, right? So they wanted an open space. You can see this is the before picture. They had a beautiful ocean view through their window, their Newport Beach home. And so they wanted to take advantage of that view. And they wanted a more open concept in the bathroom and more cohesive and functioning sort of design there.
So this is the before photos. We love to do these on every project. It's always fun to look back and say, remember when we started? And, this is one we internally joked about. Whoever designed this bathtub to die into the vanity cabinet should have had their design license revoked.
Right.
Not a good flow or design idea. But as you see, the first thing we did is we created an as-built plan. So we accurately document your home and measure it as to what we're starting with pre-construction, pre-demolition. And then when we spend time in design, we come up with new floor plans. In this case, we moved the bathtub, which made a heck of a lot more sense for the flow of the bathroom. And we recreated a very open concept shower. And the homeowner very much wanted just walls of glass and having an open, airy feel to this new design.
Absolutely. Elevation drawing. So once we do the space plan or the floor plan type drawing, then we want to start working on elevation. So now you're seeing the walls, and this is where you get to pick up details in the cabinets, mirrors and lighting placements and things like that. Shower details.
So electrical plans, like we're showing here, are an automatic part of a remodel. As we're going through and working with you to redesign a room, whether it's a powder room, a full bathroom, a master bathroom suite, we're going to upgrade and correct the electrical that's in there. We're going to bring it up to current building code. We're going to design for how you live. All of our clients say they don't have enough outlets, they don't have enough lighting, or they're in the wrong places. And we're going to address all of that in the design phase at the architectural and electrical plan review.
Absolutely. Even down to details, you know, whether there's dimmers or accent lighting, and even down to light color temperature, right? There's a lot of little details that as designers, we're going to plan for you and make sure that we get the bathroom 100% right for you.
So when we get to this point, we as designers have really spent a lot of time with the client. We've picked out preliminary materials, and this virtual view here is our artistic representation of what the new bathroom will look like.
And this is great, especially like when you have a major spatial change in the bathroom. For example, here we relocated the tub, we took down those heavy walls around the shower, opened it up with some glass. So really changed it. We wanted the client to see it ahead of time so they knew exactly what to expect before we built it.
So as we go through the color rendering process, we'll get to a final review and edit phase where at some point we're showing you something that'll be a jumping off point to go to contract. A lot of times when we get to the review process, this is where we now can use this as a tool to go and create a very detailed contract with all the materials we've selected, and everything is now priced to the penny so that there's no real surprises when we build it.
Yeah. And this is a real nice way to see how the colors play together, little design details like the mosaic in the niche and, you know, the little trim detail around there. You kind of pulls it all together so you really can get a good visual of what it's going to look like.
And then we'll create a lookbook of other finishes. I mean, the important part of the bathroom is not just the beautiful tile, it's all the accessories, the faucets, the fixtures, the lighting, even the cabinet handles all really bring together for a beautiful final design.
Yeah, and we'll help you select and choose all of these materials right here in our showroom, make it really easy for you. You have one place to go. You're not running around all over the town looking for different things and trying to figure out what's good and what's not good.
All right, the after.
Ooh, look at that, right? Beautiful.
Yeah, this was an award-winning bathroom. I think it was the BKBG picked this as the top bathroom of all entrants submitted. And It's stunning. I mean, I can't show this to my wife. She's going to want me to remodel that out of jealousy. Just beautiful details. The care went into the design. Everything you see here just flows and feels so nice
Absolutely.
together.
A lot of ties together with colors and materials. Beautiful spa-like feel in there.
It's all in the details.
All in the details. See the quartz countertops we talked about earlier. New doors and hardware there. Stunning.
All right. This is everyone's favorite part. Some more before and afters.
Yeah.
This is a pretty common Orange County bathroom with a ginormous decked tub that you can't get in or into without risking your life. It takes up a lot of real estate, cluttered countertops, lack of light. We see it all the time.
Yeah, 4x4 white tile. Yeah, we're taking this out left and right. So before, wow, after, right?
Truly a wow after.
Yeah, before. Wow, look at that, right?
And this is why we love what we do as designers. And we get to make such meaningful transformations. And 99% of the time, we're not moving any walls.
Yeah, exactly. It's really just planning the details, layouts, and really making the space yours and beautiful for you. Again, before and after.
Great open shower. It's just such a nice feel to have that opening. Can we keep the pink?
I'm saying we get rid of it. That soffit's not so nice above the shower also.
Big transformation. Beautiful cabinet color. That gorgeous natural stone tile backsplash.
Completely different bathroom.
Yep.
Again.
Huge transformation.
Yeah. Beautiful details in the flooring, countertops, cabinet, nice balance. Love the contrasting black. That's gorgeous in that bathroom. Furniture style vanities. The garden window there. Before.
Very common feature.
Yeah. And
another very dramatic.
Very dramatic. Much nicer. I want to go back and see the before again. Didn't look so good. Wow, that looks great. Love that tub. Love what we did with the windows back there.
Yeah, I love the fact we're able to do a black and white tub. Some of the tub lines we work with allow for custom tub colors. So we can get very creative based on your wish list and your inspiration photos. Very common layout.
Yeah, so if your countertop looks like this one here on the right, you might be ready for a remodel because the reason their countertop looks like that is they don't have good storage, right? Exactly. But we can fix all that when we do a remodel. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah, giant wet room conversion. So everything is behind the shower glass. So great concept.
Yeah.
All right. So we want to thank you all for being with us today. We want to open this up to Q&A. And then just to remind you, you can reach out to us and set up for a complimentary consultation. We'd love to meet with you, get your wish list, understand what the possibilities can be. Yeah. And you can either email us or call us today to set that up.
Yep. Or just put a message in the chat and we can take any questions, right? Yeah. We have any, let's see, do we have any? Can we select tile materials outside of your warehouse? So I'll take this one. Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. So absolutely. Yes, you can, but I'm going to say a but. I don't recommend it. Here's the reason why. All tile is not created equally, right? So what does that mean? So if you select tile with us, and mind you, I don't even know how many vendors we have, probably at least 30 vendors for tile. So we have just about everything you could ever imagine. The vendors we use, we know we're getting quality materials from, right? Which means once we install them, they're going to look good and they're going to last. If you get something that, is from who knows where, and maybe it's something we're not familiar with the manufacturer, we don't know the quality of that product. So when it comes to tile, how flat is the tile? How square is the tile? How good is the glazing? There's all these details that's going to make a difference into how that tile installs and how it looks and how it lasts. So better to purchase from us just so we can source it, make sure we're getting good quality material.
Right. And to add to that point, if we supply the materials and you're fully warranted for what we do, if you supply a tile, that's going to be excluded from our warranty. warranty. And we get this question all the time. And the reality is, if you're going to look at a good quality product, you're not going to be saving any real money on the front end by supplying it to us. And we'd rather you say, Mike or James, here's a tile we like, can you get it?
Yep.
And let us do the legwork. A lot of times what you see out there, we can get an equivalent or better product in terms of durability and quality of the material.
Yep. So we had a question I'm going to do my best to address about catalyzed conversion varnish. So we're talking about the finish on the cabinets, right? So conversion varnish, catalyzed conversion varnish, that's the desirable finish you're going to want. The reason you're not going to see that coming out of California, so most of our cabinets come from out of state. Waterloo, Iowa is actually where most of our cabinets come from, right? And the reason you don't see that conversion varnish here in California is we have a lot of air quality laws, right? We've got EPA, we've got all these different organizations that regulate that. And because of that, it makes it very, very difficult for anyone to use or spray that finish here in California. And so that's why you don't see it here. Now, that doesn't mean that somewhere else, like we're just polluting the air and we're creating all these problems, right? They have, these huge multi-million-dollar machines that all these cabinet pieces are going through. It's spraying this catalyzed conversion varnish on your cabinets. And in most cases, that's actually recycling fumes and turning it into something else that can then be recycled. So not to say that we're just being negligent to our atmosphere and things like that. And then the other question you're probably going to have about that is, well, then am I being exposed to chemicals and things like that? And actually you're not, because it's a conversion varnish. It's curing 100% within, these facilities where it's being processed. And so once it's on, it's not off-gassing. It's a super hard, durable finish that basically is going to be very reliable for you. Hopefully I did a good job for answering that for you.
And just to elaborate further, we have our own full cabinet shop here at Sea Pointe, and we still make our own cabinets. But years ago, we used to use this process until it got outlawed in California. And we're such big fans and advocates of the quality it is that we partnered with a company to do this because we didn't want to give up the quality that finish provided.
Yeah. And just not to harp on the finish thing, because I feel like we covered it pretty good, but the finishes that you are going to see come out of California have a lot of problems. I've heard I'm not going to go into lists, but basically they're not as good. So really important to get a good finish on your cabinets, right? Because once that's worn out, then they don't look good, right? And
then you have to hire somebody to refinish it. And that's a very expensive refinishing invoice. And at the end of the day, it's not going to be durable.
So we had a good question about, does Sea Pointe Construction, do we do small bathrooms? And the answer to that is, of course, yes, we would. We do lots of projects. Some of them are very small. I've got one going right now that's just a little powder bath, not even a bathtub in there. And then we have other projects that are very large where we're adding a bathroom and square footage to the house where there doesn't even currently exist. So from little to big, we can really handle pretty much all your needs.
And in terms of what we showed you today and what's on our website, we just found it's very difficult to accurately or correctly photograph a small powder room. So for the sake of illustrating beautiful designs, we show the bigger rooms, which allow us to get in there and better photograph the layout, the lighting, the materials, but we do it all.
Yeah, good point, Mike. Any other questions? How are we looking? Okay, looks like we're wrapped up. And thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you got a lot of great information out of it. Again, feel free to reach out. If you're considering consulting with someone or you want to get a free consultation, we're easy to get a hold of. Our phone number's up on the screen there. Just give us a call or send us another message in the chat, and we'll take care of you.
Again, we'll be online.
Okay, well, thank you all for tuning in today, and stay tuned for our next webinar coming up. And hopefully this was of help to you all in your decision-making process.
Yeah, thanks. Have a great day, guys.